Oppa guys, so this is my Patreon tier 100 top end of season. Here is Kardik. This is from August, so you can see that is the thing. And here also it is something so cool, so nice. Meanwhile you're hitting that, you can also be in the #1 position in the world. That is great. And of course, it's not just that, but you need to be consistently there. And here's one of the bases. And look at that, 6,377 top 6 in the world. And I'll show you a few replays of the bases in action. You can see one of the best attackers in the world, Bam, struggling on the base because it's so good. It's meant against the top players. That's what that tier is about. You always get Kardik's new bases when he changes them, when he swaps them. So check out the link in the description to Patreon and get those bases now. And there's so many different tiers. I will explain all of them now also. But here you can see it is the best thing for push Upa. And then Oppa, we have a tier for the tournament players. The world has changed so much. And this is the World Championship tournament-based tier, and how can I call that? Because here you can see my bro Kardik. He is in the World Championship. This is from last year, and look at that base, 64%. I think that was the best defense of that era, and yes. So this is the thing, and now I'll explain a bit about the base building process, because I think none of you guys know about that, and the world is so crazy today. So first of all, you need to have a good base to build on, but that's just part one of the having a superb base. And of course, you need to have experience, because that's only way to have some knowledge in this. And we've been building since 2016, so that's over 5 years professionally at top of the world, and that gives you knowledge how the base is built. And also the builders need to be good attackers, and among that, otherwise their building is useless in a sense. So then skill, you need to be constantly improving, not trying to catch up to meta, but be ahead of it. And that's what we do. We're always ahead of meta, and everybody on my Patreon knows that. Yes, and you who are not there, you don't. And the time and dedication we put on that, we don't spend time in chat groups, nor we care about the monies, or because you can see the people who have websites where can buy bases. Come on, you spend more time on doing a website than actually building the base. So that's just no. And now here I'll show you one of the part, which is testing. And here is one of the tests being done. You can see now this is what we do, and this is what actually people on this tier get. They get proof of the bases being tested, and that's something nobody else does. And I encourage everybody else to do that. Ask your builders and whatever, can they give you proof of the base actually being tested? And here you can see what we did on that one thing after the test was done. So now you can see what's going to be happening to the queen Oppa. This is going to be losing the queen there. And that's the good thing about the testing. And this is what we do. And in testing, it doesn't, if there's some chat ninja or somebody from a chat group that, says that, okay, we do testing, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be doing bases against the best players in the world, you need to have one of the best players in the world to be testing. And if somebody, is associated that some team uses some of the bases, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you get a base that they actually tested. Or if you do, it's great, but I think not. Because the people who are doing that, they want to keep those bases for themselves. Yes, they do. And it's not, you can't do that many tested bases on a high quality level. It's just basically impossible. And also, if the base tester cannot triple a base, he's useless, because the whole idea is to triple it and then to see the weaknesses and then do the fine-tuning and fixes according to that. But if you're on my tier on Patreon, you'll see all of this and you get all the proof, and also you get to learn about base building, which is super cool. And yeah, it's just the best thing ever to have something like this. And this is, guys, this is Kardik is testing these bases. It's not somebody from a chat group or what do you call these apps or wherever where people have these servers, something. This is Kardik. Kardik is doing the testing. Kardik is also doing the tweaking, and that is what makes these bases World Championship tournament level bases. And now we're gonna see this actually base that we were just doing. We're gonna see it now in action, because, well, why not? That's better. We're gonna see 4 wars, actually 4 tournaments where the base was actually used and how it did. So yes, nobody was able to triple it, and it was so cool. I'm going to do a different video on all of these because it's just so cool to see it in action. That's what a good testing does to a base. So this is what you get weekly, guys. Every week there's going to be a base that is tested, and with the testing there's going to be delivered proof. with the base of the testing. So that's the idea. And like I said, I encourage everybody who's getting bases anywhere, ask for the proof, ask how the base is tested. Just don't rely on this, because I think a lot of them are just basically scamming people with the testing and whatever they do. I don't believe it, what I've seen. And what my patrons tell when they join, they're like, oh my god, Ed, your base is amazing. You actually do the work and you actually show that, and that's the best thing ever. So yeah, you should definitely try that. And yeah, now we're going to talk about other tiers. Opa. So this is the reaching 6,000 push tier, the 65 tier. So here you'll see White Death, which is using the bases, and how it's doing. It's just great. Thank you, White, for the replays. And that's the last 2 weeks, end of the season. You get 2 extra bases on reaching that, and those are meant from around 5,600 to 6K, that range. That is the reason there. And I'm gonna share a few replays from some of my patrons. So here's one of the elite farmers of the game, a dear friend. And yeah, so you're going to see how he's doing with that. And it's just, he's loving the bases. You should love them too. It's one of the best things there, if you're not that interested in the highest level tiers. But there's also this range, because every base is designed for a specific range, and that's why they work better. Opa. So let's see more stuff now for the tournament stuff. So okay guys, this is something amazing. I'm going to be talking about skeleton bases, and then also you get 5 tested ESL bases, like awesome stuff. So here, first of all, this is skeleton base. This means that the base is half made. So then here you can build your own unique design, and that's something totally unique that you can do. You get 5 of these skeletons a month on this tier, and of course all the content from the below tiers. And this is something super cool. This means that the design that you have is only yours, and this is good for the professional clashers, the teams that actually want something good to build on and then do their own testing and stuff. And here you can see the real Fake Ed. I just love the name. In action, he's one of the guys who's loving those tournament bases. You can see the actual base layout, and it's something super cool. It is for those who actually know how to build and curious of that, and this is the only way you can actually get a unique design, because otherwise, if you use something that is ready-made, somebody else will also have it. You can then tweak, of course, but in this case you have the main components and everything is according to meta, so you're getting something cool. And this is also only on my Patreon. Nobody else is doing this because they kind of can't. And also I want to remind, there's also 5 tested bases where you can see here, look at that, Space Station Gaming couldn't triple, White Dead, because the bases are so OP. And then of course we're gonna see something else too. Look at that, also 18 attacks, also surrendered to my base from this tier. So guys, the bases on this tier are absolutely insane. I really suggest you to test them out. And now we're going to talk about pushing, hardcore pushing. So basically you need a fresh base, otherwise you can do internet bases, but you know how it ends. Don't do internet bases, that's just ugly. So here you get 2 bases per week. Total of 8 bases a month on this hardcore push tier, and these bases are meant for around the 550 range. And here you can see one of the proof, which is so cool. Even ATN can triple these ones. Okay, they can probably most of the time, but sometimes this happens, and that is just delicious. And here is yet again the real Fake Ed, because he also pushes, because as if you're a good tournament player you need to push. And you can see a nice little one here when Freak Ed couldn't triple. So this is good. This is the thing you need to have. So get those. And now we're going to talk about other tiers. Competitive tournament player. This means you are in for the tournaments. You will get 2 skeleton bases and 4 build bases. So you can swing both ways. Here you can see yet again one of my patrons enjoying the bases from this tier. They are just loving it. They are so delicious, so good. Here's some proof of that. But the best proof lies that you also get 2 times a week. There's a delivery, and you get to have the bases. And well, what is better than that? And here, once again, White Death is going to be showing you guys that the bases are superior. The bases are amazing. The bases are awesome. So guys, check out the Patreon and get this tier or the other tiers, because well, if you like tournament bases, here you get, and you also get always the below tiers content too, and you will be staying ahead of the meta. And now we're going to be talking about the Gemmer Lyfe. Gemmer Lyfe is the best thing, because you can get General Life bases to share with your clanmates. You also get a push and a war base weekly so that you can have something for yourself. It's more for the casual clashers who just enjoy, you know, the clash, more for the OGs, you know, old gangsters and stuff like that. But still, quality is out there. But if you want to be competitive, then the other tiers, if that, then here is these tiers. And then also we will have something for the lower tiers because we need to, like lower town halls, I mean. But this is just something so nice. I really, really enjoy this tier. And I personally use a lot of these tier spaces because I mainly clash a bit under 550. And here you can see you can have also town hall 13 and 12, and then you have the 5 tier where you get 12 bases for $5 if you want that. So this is basically my Patreon, guys. Check it out. It is the best thing in Clash. And also, yeah, there's, or General Life, you also get masterclasses for attacks and stuff, but we'll talk about that more later. But now, guys, link description, go and get yourself some bases. Upa upa.